Do not go anywhere, because in this video I'm going to explain to you why this camera, the Canon M100, is still a great camera for beginners in the sense of photography. So do not go anywhere. Before we carry on this video, I just want to say I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly content on the best cameras for hobbyists and beginners. If that sounds interesting to you, don't forget to like and subscribe. So, the Canon M100, I'm going to explain to you why I love this camera. This camera might be a few years old, but I tell you what, it still packs a punch, and I love this camera. We use the M100 for 99% of our thumbnails because it's so easy to use, takes great photos, and even in the time of this video, it's just such a camera worth checking out. Now, it does have a younger brother, the M200, which is very similar, and it's technically just been replaced by the Canon R100, which we'll talk about more in a different video. But I love this camera because you can get this now for renewed or second hand online for about 100, 150. I believe we got this one second hand for about 130. So just check around for deals and make sure they've got good reviews. That's a great power tip I'll share you guys, because obviously I don't want any of you guys getting ripped off. Now, why am I looking at this camera instead of a bigger camera, or one of the cheaper sort of new cameras that cost like £300–400? Do you know why? Because it's so simple to use. Now, it is a mirrorless camera, interchangeable lenses, 24 megapixel, very easy to take off the lens, so you just take it off like so, and there it is, you can see inside there, nice little shot for you, and it's very easy, intuitive. Now, what I like about this, the kit lens that comes with this is a 15–45mm usually, but obviously check before you buy. But if you can get the kit lens, I massively recommend this because it's just a great little lens. It takes great photos, great video. Obviously this video is more about photography, but I have used this camera for video and it does do that just as well. Now, why I love this camera, it has a nice little flip screen. There you go, so you can see what you're doing. So if you want to take selfies of yourself and all that sort of jazz like you would with your phone. Now, you could say, why do you want something like this over your phone? Well, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it's just nice to take photos away from your camera without getting bing, bing, bing by social media every 30 seconds. So sometimes that is why I still love cameras over phones when it comes to video and photography. Now, one little power tip I love about this particular camera that I've noticed is see if we can do this on live TV if it's got any battery. So if we just turn it on, set up the lens for you briefly, and then there's my silly face, and you just press my face and there you go, we go into we go into play mode, and there it is, my silly face. And that's how easy it is to take photos. Now obviously you can, I don't know why, I just find that really funny. Now obviously you can just take a picture with the proper photo taking button, but I love it with this camera. Quite often if I'm taking a picture of one of my cameras, for example, I have it all set up with the lights and everything, and I would literally just focus on the object, usually about sort of 6–7 inches away. I'll just press the screen and it's just so easy, and wherever you've wherever you press your finger on the screen, it will autofocus on that position, so you can play around with some really interesting shots, which is really handy. And it's just something to sort of bear in mind when you're taking that awesome photo, that it is really easy to use, and it just makes it so much easier. You don't have to mess around with shutter speed and ISO. Just put it into photo mode. Now it does have a auto mode, it does have a photography mode and a video mode, which makes it very easy to switch between. It's not overly complex with 8,000 modes. Again, making it very handy for beginner. Now, what I would massively recommend for any camera you're getting is make sure you get a spare battery. But my power tip today is actually when you're not using it, I know it sounds obvious, but I've seen plenty of people not do this, is just turn it off. If you turn it off between shots, I swear down, the battery will last ages. I've taken this camera on multiple day trips now and holidays and whatnot, and it's quite surprising actually. If I've forgotten a second battery, it will last most of the day, right through, taking pictures of different things and family and all the rest of it. So this camera really is a nice heavyweight. It's a nice weight as well. It's not too light, not too heavy. And what would normally come with this camera, sometimes they come with bags. I actually got a little bag with mine, which, that was just because it came with that particular one. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, but it should come with a battery, a charger, a strap usually of some sort. This is a sort of Canon one, and I would massively recommend SD cards. Now, question of the day then, what SD card do you use in your camera and why? Just be curious to know. And if you're getting value, don't forget to like and subscribe here today on today's Absolute Value. Check out our merch. Link to all this in the description. Now the camera actually I'm using today, that'll be in the description as well, just to, you know, throw it in there. Now, anything else to talk about this camera? Now, I could talk about video, but in this particular video, I want to talk more about photography. Now you can play with ISO and shutter speed, which is very intuitive. You just go into the menu inside the camera and play around what you will. And what's cool about this kit lens, it does seem to perform quite well in low light. So if you don't have the best light in the world, it seems to perform great pictures anyway. And as you may have seen in some of my other videos, when I've taken pictures of objects far away, it seems to do that well even in like sunset and stuff like that. So this camera really is awesome. Now please, if you have any questions about this camera, don't forget to put them in the comments below, and if I miss anything, feel free to ask and I'll do my best to answer them. I hope you got value from today, but don't go anywhere, because in a moment I'm going to leave you 2 end cards. They're going to bring you even more value. I might even drop a card talking about the video side of this camera. Thank you so much for watching, and you know what? I'll see you very soon, because you guys rock! You guys rock!